When I started out with credit cards, I had absolutely no idea on how to use them. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that the cardinal rule was to just pay them off before the balance due date. However, the more time passed, I realized that there is one very effective trick on growing your credit score quickly, and that is paying your credit card bill on a very specific day. Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No. It is something called your statement due date. So today, I'm going to go over what that is and why it is actually important to pay off your credit card bill on that day instead of all the other days. But before we dive in, I'm going to go over the 5 things that make up your credit score, and right after that, connect the dots on how that statement due date actually plays into them. And speaking of connecting the dots, if you could just do me a favor really quickly and connect that finger over to that like and subscribe button, you will see more credit card and personal finance videos in the future. So the first 2 things that make up your credit score is your credit card payment history and your credit utilization. Now, payment history accounts for 35% of your overall credit score, and it just looks at if you've been making your minimum monthly payments on time, on or before the due date. But the credit utilization holds a 30% stake in your overall credit score, and basically it just asks the questions, how much of your available credit are you actually using? So for example, if you have a $10,000 line of credit and you're using up $5,000 of it every single month, that means that your credit utilization percentage is 50%. Creditors want you to be below that 30% threshold, and anything below that can actually negatively impact your credit score. Since just these 2 categories hold a 65% stake in your overall credit score, it is very, very important to keep your credit utilization low, as well as make your credit card payments on time. And the third thing that makes up your credit history is the length of your credit. And that's actually just that 50%. 15%. Bruh. Not 50, 15, okay? Okay, now during the first 5 years of opening up a credit card account, your issuer might tell you that the length of your credit history is having a negative impact on your score, but not to worry because it's not the end of the world. It's going to get better over time the longer you keep your credit card account open. And my recommendation for that is to open up a credit card account as soon as you can, preferably the day you turn 18. And there's not much that you can do about it, but don't worry because the next 2 categories don't really make up a big significant amount of your credit score either, which is the type of credit accounts that you open and any new lines of credit that you open up. And they each only make up 10% of your credit score. The type of credit just refers to what kind of credit you have open. If it's a mortgage, if it's a car payment, if it's credit card bills, and the more diverse and the different types of credit that you have open, lenders like that type of thing and your credit score gets better. And the reason for that is just lenders, they love to see the diverse different kind of credits. This demonstrates to lenders that you can manage different types of borrowing. And creditors usually do a hard credit check on your history whenever you're applying for a new type of loan. So if they see that you've been applying for too much and you're relying on credit and loans too much, this could have a negative impact on your score as well. But this is looked at a time frame of 2 years. So let's just say 3 years from today, you are wanting to open up a credit card, and the last time that you opened it was today. Since it's been over that 2-year gap, they're not really gonna look at that hard check that's been over 2 years. Now, if you're looking at your credit card bill, you will see that there are 2 dates that indicate an important time frame of paying your credit card bill. This is your statement end date and your balance due date. The statement end date is the best day to pay your credit card bill, and the balance due date is the necessary date to pay your credit card bill by. Here's how it works. Let's say that your statement begins on April 1st. And yeah, I'm looking at a script, so don't judge me, okay? Your statement will last about 1 month, which would make your statement end date May 1st. And let's use easy numbers here and say that your line of credit is $10,000 and you've spent $4,000 on it. On that statement end date, the credit issuer takes a quote-unquote screenshot of your credit card bill and sends it to your bank. the bank looks at that and says, okay, Mr. Jones, sounds good. Here's how much you owe of your credit card bill. And by the way, since your credit utilization was more than 30%, guess what? Your credit score has been negatively impacted. Goodbye. Bruh. Remember that having a higher 30% utilization date can actually have a negative impact on your credit score. But if you pay in full or below that 30% threshold, your credit card issuer technically has nothing to screenshot that they can send to the bank, and as a result of that, your credit score is not going to be dinged. So my recommendation to you is, like, if you have a $10,000 credit card and you use 4,000 of it, that's 40% utilization rate, pay it down below that 30% before that statement due date hits, not the balance due date, because that statement due date is what can impact your credit score. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a real life example of one of my own credit cards. So let's go over into the app right here. Okay, so, and yeah, I blocked off my personal information so you can't scam me, okay? Thanks. Ooh, I got approved for a brand new credit card, I just realized. Dude, that's actually pretty cool. I'll be making a video about that one soon. So, this is one of my business credit cards. So, my total credit limit is $17,000 on it. I have a current balance on it of $358.58. That means my credit utilization is very, very low. Basically, I'm good. As you can even see, the bank actually owed me money as of April 1st. So my statement balance was negative $1,069.51. So actually, they owe me money. But see, this is basically the two dates that you have to keep a lookout on, which is the statement balance and your payment due date. So your statement balance and your payment due date are the two dates that you are wanting to look at. So statement balance is April 1st. Payment due date is April 23rd. Basically, you want to pay the statement balance before that April 1st or on that April 1st day. Otherwise, they're literally going to screenshot it like that, send it over to your bank and be like, look, bro, look how much he owns. And guess what? That score is going to drop. Here's another one of my examples. I did the math a little bit earlier on this, guys, because I'm kind of smart. So $2,500 on total credit limit. Available credit 1307. Statement balance 1,299 as of March 20th. That means my credit utilization was about 44%. I did the math on that. If I didn't pay that before the March 20th date, that means my credit score would have dropped. And actually, guess what? It did drop right there, March 22nd. You know why? Because I had a higher credit utilization. This is a beautiful example. And it's like, it's only 5 points, but still, like, it can make a little bit of a difference. And just so you know, your bank's Outlook overview page thingy or whatever might look a little bit different than mine, but just keep those two dates in mind. Ruben, I really don't care because it's actually more convenient to pay for my bail on my due date instead. Okay, chill, bro. It's not the end of the world if you don't pay your credit card bill by the statement due date. Just make sure that you do pay your credit card bill on time in order to avoid accruing any interest. But if you want to build your score quickly, this can be a very effective method in doing so. For instance, if you want to purchase a car or a house, this will help you keep your credit utilization low. And speaking of utilization, I still see that you haven't utilized that comment or subscribe button down below. So make sure that you do that so you can see more credit card and personal finance videos in the future. Okay, that's all I had for you. Bye.